Good afternoon. This presentation is a very short presentation to introduce you to the basic ideas of open educational resources and massively online open courses so that uh, you will know what you are going to do when we uh, ask you to take two more resources to help you prepare for the BSc program. So we will quickly look at what are open educational resources and their licenses with some examples. We will look at the example of open courseware. Then we will go to the question of what are massively open online courses. We will discuss a bit about why they have been put out by universities and talk about what you should do with open educational resources and probably what you shouldn't do. Then we will introduce to you the two resources that we are going to have you use to get ready for the computer programming aspects of the BSc program. Right? One from the Khan Academy and one from something known as edX. We are going to take a course on edX. Right? Open Educational Resources, or OER, is any educational resource that is free and easily accessible. Free meaning without any cost, easily accessible, also open formatted and open license. We will discuss what the word license means. And this material can be any number of things. It can be a textbook, it can be a web page, it can be videos and animations, it can be images, it can be some software, it can be a complete course. These licenses are used to let you know how you can use the open educational resources. Not all of them are completely open. Sometimes the person who has created it gives some rules or restrictions on what you can do with them, right? You can learn up more about this by just putting Creative Commons license into Wikipedia. Here, I will just say that there's 4 different conditions. uh, so attribution, if it's there, means that you must, if you use this and show it to somebody else, you must say this is by the actual author of this material. You must not say it is your material. Similarly, there is something called share alike, which is known as copyleft because it is kind of the opposite of copyright. So you can share it with somebody else, but if you do, and especially if you make changes to it, you must also make it free and open. You cannot take something that is free and then try to sell it. That is not allowed. Non-commercial, some people say you can do anything you want with this, but you cannot make money out of it. If they have put that, then you are not supposed to make money out of using it. No derivative works means you can take it, but you cannot change it. You must use it exactly like it is. So there are many combinations, and for example, the Khan Academy has BY, NC, and SA. So in the Khan Academy, you can take any of the Khan Academy's videos or their other material and use it to do some work of your own. You can use it in your own class, but you must say that it is from the Khan Academy. You must not charge money for the material. You can charge money for explaining the material, but you can't charge money for the material, and you cannot change it. That is what the Khan Academy says. So in the Open University also, when we use the open educational resources to teach you, we must be careful that we use it according to these licenses, right? Now, one of the best examples of an open educational resource is Wikipedia. Right? Wikipedia is an open educational resource. Everything that is written there can be taken and used by somebody else. But of course, you have to say that you're taking it from Wikipedia. So that's very important for you students to learn. Whenever you take any text or anything from Wikipedia for your presentation or your writing, you can't say, you can't leave it uncredited. You cannot pretend that it is your work. You must say this is from Wikipedia and give the URL of the page. Right? Wikipedia is crowdsourced knowledge. Lots of different people, many tens of thousands of people edit Wikipedia pages. But everything that is written there has to be referenced. So you can't just write something that you decided was true. You have to give references to show that it is true. And all the resources that are in Wikipedia, the images, the videos, everything there is an open resource. So you can take it for your presentations, but you must say it came from Wikipedia. So generally for me, whenever I want to get some basic information about any topic, I go to Wikipedia. Some people say that because anyone can write in it, that it is not reliable. But it has been found that because so many people are checking, it has been found actually that in some cases Wikipedia is more reliable than a printed book, because in a printed book you may have some errors or the printed book may go out of date. Wikipedia is updated as soon as somebody decides to update something. So if you have a book that is 10 years old and you have Wikipedia, it is possible that Wikipedia is more up to date than that book. They also have subject portals. So if we take a quick look, put in computer science. Sorry, that is not spelled correctly. And of course, there's a page on computer science. And it gives you a comprehensive introduction to what is computer science. See, and this is a subject portal. You can have a history of computer science, you can have a glossary. All these things have been written by other people, and there is a whole lot of information here. And if you want more detailed history, it is over here. And so this is like having a textbook, a free textbook on your laptop. There are even Wiki Books now, which are textbooks made out of Wikipedia pages. You can search for those as well. And then you can, instead of collecting your own collection of Wikipedia pages, you can take the textbook. So there may be a Wikipedia textbook on computer science. It's possible somebody may have done it, or you can do one and put it up and see whether people use it. Right? So don't forget that it's all open, but you have to cite. Cite means to give the credit. When you present it in your work, whether you're writing something or a PowerPoint, you have to say every element that came from Wikipedia, you have to say it came from Wikipedia. Otherwise, that is actually breaching the university rules and you can be punished. It is academic misconduct. So that's extremely important to understand. Open Courseware is something that takes educational material and puts it out for free on the internet from university courses, right? So let us take another quick look. MIT was the first university to put its materials out on the internet for free. Many other universities have followed suit. MIT Open Courseware was launched, I think, about 20 years ago now, around 2001. And what they have here is the courses that are actually taught at MIT. They have all the materials that are used to teach a course at MIT. Of course, not the textbook. The textbook is written by somebody. They can't put the textbook here. But they have all the lecturers' own notes. They have the problem sets. They have the answers. They have the exam papers. Any other material the lecturer gives which is not taken from somewhere else is put here. So if you want to find, say, shall we say Python, let's see, Python programming. You will come to several courses. There are some simple introduction courses, but this one, for example, is 6.001, which is the course that all MIT students who want to do electrical engineering and computer science, they have to do this course, right? So you can look at the same course and you can look at the Python course in the BSc program and you can compare it and you can complain to us saying, look, the MIT course is doing so many more advanced things. So you are entirely, it's recommended that you look at some of these things while doing our courses. You may get some additional thing here. Now, this open courseware concept is only the materials, right? And soon after that, by about 2004 or 2005, I think, MIT and Harvard and other universities also started doing this, and there was Coursera separately. They thought, in addition to putting the course materials, why don't we actually have the course? That means you give the course materials, you give the assignments, and also you correct the assignments, and you have discussion forums, and you run the whole course over a certain period of time. So those are known as massively online open courses, MOOC, or MOOC for short, right? So one example we are going to look at today is edX. There is Coursera. Those are the two main ones, but there are several now. Different groups of universities have got together to do this, right? So in our BSc program, we were planning to have some Coursera courses as part of the program. Unfortunately, we have not been able to have an agreement about how much we should pay and how much we should charge you. So that idea is still being developed, and perhaps in the second and especially the third and fourth years of your program, there will be some Coursera courses included, right? Now, quickly to cover why there is open educational resources. Why would MIT put out all its material on the internet? You might think that's a very silly thing to do because this is very valuable material. But perhaps what they think is that if they put it out on the internet, it's like an advertisement. You see the material and MIT says, this is only the material, but if you want to learn this material with the best professors in the world and the best students in the world, you have to come to MIT. The other thing it does is it forces everyone to have higher standards. So if the Open University is doing a Python course, we know that you will be looking at the MIT course also. And if you come and ask us why we don't do things that the MIT course does, we have to give you good answers. There may be good answers. Maybe they will say that is only for people who are doing theoretical work. In practice, we don't need some of these things. I don't know, but we have to have a good answer, right? So it forces all the Python courses in the world to have a certain standard. Because why would anyone pay money for a course where you can get it for free? And of course, to all users all over the world, this has made a huge difference in accessing learning, right? So the open courseware movement and the MOOCs have made a revolution in education in the last 20 years, and it is still going on, the revolution. We are still, as teachers, trying to understand how to use this material and help you learn better. Some teachers are very worried about this. If they put it all on the internet, what is left for them to do to class? Students won't come to class and someone will copy it. But those are not good arguments. Students won't come to class unless you do something that is special to the class. That's very important. So the material is on the internet, but the teacher has to do something in the class that is not on the internet. And that is this special discussions, detailed discussions with these particular students. The internet can't do that. Similarly, in our courses, all the material will be online, but it is the tutorial classes or the day schools and the laboratory exercises that we run that are very important. There you will be able to discuss with your individual tutor, and the individual tutor will be able to help you solve your problem, right? The course on the internet can't solve your problem. Everybody has their own problems, right? Now, what should you do with the open educational resources? Because there is so much of them, and some of them are very good and some of them are very poor quality. So you should not and you cannot be expected to search and find the best material, right? Because one is you don't have all the time, and two is you don't have the knowledge to say this is good material or bad material, right? So it is our role to identify the most suitable material and give you reading lists and links and maybe add value. So for example, with the Khan Academy in Maths, that's exactly what we have done. We have identified open educational resource for you to learn mathematics. We have also related it to the O-level mathematics curriculum so that you can compare the books and what the exercises do. And we are structuring it to help you prepare exactly for our course. So that is our role. Without that, you can't do it by yourself also, right? So the teacher's role now is a little different. Students, on the other hand, are very welcome to do additional searches because even the teachers don't have the time. And you can tell us, look, this is a really good video or resource for understanding this topic. And then we can look at it and share it with all the students if it is good. So what have we done so far with open educational resources in your BSc program? We have already started using the Khan Academy mathematics material to help you prepare for the BSc program. In addition to that, today I am introducing two other things. First of all, there is a compulsory course in the first semester, EEX 3467, Software Engineering Concepts and Programming. Right? That is actually the building block for so many other courses that you will do in the program. They use a very simple programming language known as Scratch to introduce basic concepts in programming. And this is especially suitable for students who do not have much experience in programming. And from the questionnaire, we know that more than half of you have very little experience in programming. Now it turns out that a massively online open course on Scratch started on Monday. So why not use it? We have had it checked out by the teachers and the SLASCOM industry people, and they say yes, it's a very suitable course. So we are going to understand how to register for it, and then you have to get started on your own. This is not something that we are doing. This is something edX is doing. Similarly, there is also material introducing computers and computer science on the Khan Academy, and especially computer programming, and we are going to recommend that you follow those sections as well through the same mechanism that we are doing the mathematics. To follow Khan Academy courses on computer programming. So this is introducing JavaScript and some web pages and so on. But you should do this after you finish the Scratch course, okay? Because this material will be done again in your first courses in the first semester. But if you already have good programming experience, you can brush up your knowledge by doing this. Now don't forget that both of these things, the Scratch course and the Khan Academy work, we are not going to give you marks for them, but we very strongly recommend that you do both. If you don't have computer programming experience, please start with the Scratch course, right? And we will support you through the Learning Management System page on the Future Careers page. Right. Thank you very much for listening, and please get started with the Scratch course immediately. And once you understand about programming, you can come to this section.